Hey guys, Level Cap here. Today, Battlefield 5 got its first pump-action shotgun. This is the M1897. It should be available in the armory for all Battlefield 5 players right now. There's no assignment, no requirements to unlock it. It's a support class weapon. I've already maxed out the specializations for it. If you want to go with buckshot, go full left tree, and then at the last one, go to the right side because you get faster rate of fire. Nobody wants a freaking bayonet. If you want to go slug rounds, go full right side tree for best effect with that one. Now this is the third shotgun available in Battlefield 5. It's the second one coming over from Battlefield 1. So yes, once again, we are getting another BF1 recycled weapon, but Battlefield 5 needed a pump action shotgun, and I don't much care which pump action it is, as long as we're getting a pump action. Its magazine holds 5 rounds. There's no option for an extended mag, and when you upgrade it with the faster rate of fire, it goes from 100 round per minute rate of fire to 120 round per minute rate of fire. The left side of the tree will give you faster reload. It'll give you improved range damage with buckshot to increase the range at which you can one-shot kill somebody by about 2 meters. And it'll also give you the ability for better bullet penetration, shooting people through doors and walls and stuff like that. It's fun to use. It's great for getting YouTube clips. I've got some pretty nasty clips later on because when you get those one-shot kills and you just drop an entire squads at a time, it looks awesome. In terms of its overall usability, well, it's highly situational, as you would expect with any shotgun, but because of the incredibly fast time to kill for most classes, it does feel a bit underpowered in most situations. It depends what your play style is. If you want to just hang out in a building, camp buildings, and be very sneaky beaky, then it can be a very good weapon. If you like to be aggressive on the front lines, exchanging fire with other classes, this is a hard gun to use because really its best effective range is about 8 meters or closer. You can see people that I'm shooting at about 10-15 meters away here taking 2, sometimes 3 shots to down. With a 5-round magazine, that's not going to allow you to drop an entire squad, and it's also not going to give you a very fast TTK. Medics are going to be out damaging you. Assault classes are going to be out damaging you. Good support players with like an FG42 will be out damaging you in close quarters. So you absolutely have to get the drop on people, and you got to get that first shot off for the instant kill. That's where this weapon shines. You got to kill people before they shoot you, and you got to drop them in pretty much one shot if possible. Alternatively, you can load slug rounds into the shotgun. I've never been a huge fan of slug round shotguns just because I like the buckshot concept. That's the whole point for me, is have it to actually shoot shot out, you know, a big spray of pellets. That's the cool factor. But if you do like running slug rounds in a shotgun, slug rounds are pretty good. It's a one-shot headshot. You can do a one-shot body shot in close range. I believe it probably has to be like chest or something like that to get the one-shot kill. It's trickier to use, but it does give you more ranged options. It is tricky to aim though. You do have a good, faster rate of fire though, so you can kind of think of it as almost like an aggressive sniper rifle with only iron sights as an option. Again, due to visibility and the importance of getting headshots with slug rounds, that can be a bit of an issue, right? So if the majority of your success is based on your ability to get headshots with this weapon and only iron sights and having poor visibility, it means it's going to just be harder to tell where an enemy player's head is, or just see them without a scoped optic from like a sniper rifle. So yeah, that's just something to consider, is the visibility issues. Moving back to buckshot though, sneaking around and flanking is the name of the game. Here I'm in a big open map. I thought the shotgun was going to be terrible, but because of my ability to flank around and get behind a lot of unaware players, I can take them all out. Now, you could do this with most guns in the game. The benefit of the pump action is that it's that one-shot kill, and you can drop a squad faster than just about any other weapon, provided that squad is both unaware of you and very close to you. So getting yourself into that perfect situation is the hardest part about playing a shotgun in Battlefield 5. It was easier in other games. Battlefield 1, I would say, had more situations where shotguns were more effective, plus the slower time to kill allowed the shotgun to just close the distance a little bit better and survive a little bit better when trying to move between cover and go on flanking routes. Now with the TTK reversion, it's so fast that the shotgun feels very hard to use in many situations. I think there could be a lot of balance done for the shotgun in general. Here's some suggestions that I have for DICE to make this weapon just a little bit more usable than where it is in its current situation. Visibility improvements are a must for getting better with shotguns. Simply put, if you can't track your target well and you missed your first shot, then your chances of surviving long enough to get your second shot off are very low, given most enemies of decent skill that you're going up against. Also, on top of that, the problem of shooting dead bodies. You know, I don't want to spend my 1 of 5 shots checking to see if a guy on the ground is dead or not. You have a lot more flexibility with an automatic weapon with 30 rounds in a mag to check if it's a dead body. With a shotgun, not so much. So fixing visibility and enemy player detection is a big part of making this weapon more usable. General battlefield performance upgrades will really help, especially on PC. The biggest time I see frame rate hiccups and drops is when I'm spinning around quickly, because I guess the client is loading a lot of new objects, a lot of new textures and details. The faster I move and spin around, the more frame rate hiccups I get, which can throw off my aim. And so it affects shotguns probably more than any other weapon. The targeting reticle in the center of the screen, this has been an issue with me since Battlefield 1 as well. If you put your enemy within the targeting reticle, but they're a little bit too far away, it won't give you a one-shot kill. You have to really center them in the middle of this big circle. I think it would be nice if DICE upgraded the UI so that you could control the size of the buckshot circle in the center of the screen. I would like to make mine smaller to help me aim more precisely with this weapon, or remind me that I need to aim more precisely, especially at those further ranges, to ensure a one-shot or two-shot kill. Since Battlefield 1, DICE has changed the reload firing system for shotguns, where when you're in the middle of a reload animation, putting one shell in after another, you cannot interrupt this to shoot quickly. Sure, it's a little bit more realistic, but because shotguns are already difficult to use and need to be more reliant on loading and shooting simultaneously almost, I think DICE needs to give a little bit more leeway here and allow players to interrupt that reload animation to get a quick hip-fire shot off. That'll make it more usable in close quarter combat, which is basically all it is designed to do. This would get the performance closer to how it felt in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, where you're up against incredibly fast time to kill full automatic weapons. The shotguns need a little bit more leeway in their benefits. Muzzle Flash on the shotgun is huge right now. There's a massive explosion at the end of this weapon whenever taking a shot. It looks very cool, but if you don't kill your target on the first shot and you got to take a second follow-up shot, it can be really hard to track your target, especially in a dark environment. I've literally blinded myself or created enough muzzle flash and debris in front of my weapon that it gave my enemy some visual cover for the amount of time that they needed to get out of range or take a kill shot against me. And so that kind of sucks that there's that much muzzle flash. I think DICE needs to turn it down, or again, mess with the visibility so that large muzzle flash isn't going to prevent me from tracking my target. Overall class balance with shotguns on support is very weird because support doesn't have smoke grenades. They used to have it in previous games, but now you don't have any good way of closing the distance. You are pretty much 100% reliant on other classes creating some sort of visual cover for you to close the distance on your enemies. I think support needs to have the smoke grenades if they're going to be given the shotguns. Otherwise, swapping the shotguns to a different class like the medic or something would make a lot more sense. I think this is actually a must-have for shotgun users. You need some sort of gadget or some sort of device to give you a smoke wall. Also, I think DICE can finesse the headshot multiplier with shotgun buckshot. This is a very tricky area to mess around with because you don't want people to get random kills very quickly because some of their pellets hit the enemy in the head. But also you need to solve the problem of players taking cover behind an object and only exposing their head because it's such a smaller target, and it means more of your pellets are going to miss. And so if your pellets aren't doing that much more damage to their head when shooting somebody basically in the head or the face with a buckshot shotgun, it means you won't be able to get those one-shot kills. And so I think this damage model could be finessed a little bit. I've had shots where clearly a bunch of my pellets only hit the enemy player's head and the damage was very minimal. Anyway, that's kind of a longer list than I was planning on making about what I would change with shotguns to make them a bit more fun and a bit more consistent to use, but it's kind of the state of the game right now. Shotguns are super situational, and even in their perfect situation, they're not all that much better than a Tommy gun or an upgraded Suomi for the medic class. So you have to kind of ask yourself, what are the added benefits I get of going shotgun versus like medic if I really just want a good close quarter class? Anyway, I recommend trying out the shotgun for yourself. Let me know what you think about my changes or the things that I would do to try and make this weapon a bit more usable. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.